You guys remember that chick that used to dance a lot?
Like on TikTok or something? Or?
Every night she'd be on the floor. She'd be shaking what she's got.
Oh, okay.
Man, when I tell you she was cool, she was red hot.
He's doing something.
I mean,
she
was steaming.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
I can't tell if your mic cut out or if you just said she was semen. Is that what you said?
No, she was semen. She was steaming semen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The boys are back in town.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
I like how you've got one prepared for every episode. I really like this. Any song that would have been really good. The boys.
Right. That one would have been really good for like episode 1, I think.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah.
The last chance, the last time to look on this world of lies. That's the name of the episode.
That is the name of the episode.
Okay, I thought you were
just going right into it because we only got a half an hour, baby. We don't have time for cold opens. We don't have time for reviews. We're done.
This all content. This train does not stop.
Welcome back to our Thin Lizzy podcast. Boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town would be a good name, and I mean, boys will be the boys. I like that a lot, but
yeah.
But man, everyone is like taking drinks at the same time. This is wigging me out. Like you went up, the delay in your cam went up, and then it was just like, it's like one of those light shows doing like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra version of Carol of the Bells. Just like ba da 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 da.
I just want to say it'd have to be The Boys is back in town.
The Boys, yeah.
The show.
No, because it's still. We'll get into the semantics episode after this.
That's what this show should be called. We'll get into the semantics.
Yeah. Then episode 1, iconic versus great. Episode 2, the boys is back in town or the boys are back in town.
Yeah.
Well, the boys is back in town this week because it's episode 5 of season 3. Hey, Kimiko's not dead. Woo.
Yeah, that's a good.
Wow. Or maybe she is, and that whole like musical sequence was like her ascending into the afterlife. Or
I was waiting for that to be like an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge type moment.
But then it was just to it. I don't know. It was cute. It didn't have like a.
Yeah, it was fine. It was.
I was waiting for something dark to happen, and I guess I'm glad it didn't.
It kind of did.
Well, it kind of did.
Yeah. No, actually, it did. Yeah, because that's where he got. Right after
but
that. That's what made him go like, "Oh, I need to get a cafe."
I need to get
a
cafe.
He gets.
I like how whenever she like pictures herself talking, it's always just musical form. Like that. I think it was the first episode where she was singing to the piano.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was gonna say. That I like that recurring theme of like that she has to like sing to talk. Almost.
Yeah, it's a little bit of foreshadowing, I would say.
Yeah.
But and another thing was that kiss didn't actually happen, did it? Because when they went back to
that did. Yeah.
No, when they went back to reality, because in the scene when she when they oh, you're right, it did. I got so confused. I was looking.
It
at
happened like when they came back.
Yeah,
when they came
like
back to reality,
yeah,
that's when they kissed.
That's what.
And then he was like, "Kathy."
He got.
No, her talking happened.
He got a prom boner, and he was like, "Holy shit!" And he had to go and like get some coffee.
Yeah, that's what it was.
If you noticed, he never faced the camera when he left.
And he did walk out really weird. He like shimmied.
Yeah.
And like the talking didn't happen because he took the headphones out, and that's when she said like whatever word she said, I or whatever. But then when they come back to reality and they're kissing, their headphones were still in.
I think she said, "I am semen."
Yeah,
pretty sure.
He said, "I need to get a cafe. I've already got the creme."
Yeah. And then she said, "My name is Kamiko. I have a gun."
Also, like the fact that he walked out right after the kiss and was just like, "I need to get coffee," he's playing a dangerous game. She could have taken that the wrong way and been like, "Oh,
right,
shouldn't have done that."
Well,
but
now
they both had that.
she's
gave her a little
certainly going to
smile.
take it the wrong way now.
Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
going. That's the sad part. It's like, oh fuck, it's gonna be hard to explain that one later.
I think that's how she's gonna like get her powers back. It's gonna be like Harry Potter, and it's gonna be the love. She's gonna know.
Well, see, I'm wondering if she's gonna. I guess again, I don't know how the comics work. I don't know what happens to the female in the comics, but like, is that why they're after Soldier Boy? Because it looks like he took away Kimiko's powers. Like, are they hoping that Soldier Boy can do something similar to Homelander? Either take his powers away completely or do it enough to like weaken him to the point
I think they want to kill him.
Well,
I think they like discovered that in this episode. They were like, "Oh, we're not looking for a weapon. He is the weapon." Like that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like they realized in this episode, like he's yeah.
Yeah,
I hear
yeah.
that all the time. Like when I'm walking down the street, people
They
just
look
say,
at
like,
you.
That dude's a weapon.
That dude's there is no weapon on him. He is the weapon.
Yeah.
He is the weapon.
I think that's because like with how that nuclear blast that Soldier Boy can do now, like even if they don't know, because I don't necessarily know if they made the connection that it took away Kimiko's powers, but they know it can fuck him up. Like that's the best chance they have to fuck up
Right.
Homelander for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it weakened. Yeah, it like wounded her. So
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
has been able to like wound
Right,
her.
and I'm pretty sure just the way, like, I don't think just how much money they're making off of this. I don't think that they're gonna end it after this season. So I think it's gonna be like bait, like it's gonna be Homelander versus Soldier Boy in the episode 8, and then he's just gonna get like rolled by Homelander. I think that's like
He's
pretty much what's gonna happen.
gonna get
Like-
yo,
Yeah,
my Soldier Boy.
he's gonna get told him. Yeah, I'm starting to. It's weird because the show seemed to like center around Huey at first, and now it seems to be like Huey's like a very like tertiary character. It
A
feels
character. Yeah.
like, and which is kind of fine because I'm starting to find him annoying because he's just so fucking dumb. He's just like, it's like he just can't like tell the truth. He's just like really self-conscious. I don't know. He's probably got issues because he lost his one girlfriend. So he really has this drive to like protect Starlight, but it's kind of getting old where he's just like,
Yeah.
I need to protect you. There's constantly this like Heat moment where like at the end of Heat with Robert De Niro, Bobby Dinnerplate, and Ash. No, not Ashley Judd. Edie D's nuts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, who am I gonna choose? Am I gonna choose Butcher in the job, or am I gonna pick Starlight? And he just keeps like going back and forth, and I don't know. It's getting kind of like daytime soap opera to me.
I think TJ and I said that in the first episode that like we were hoping that like Huey and Starlight having this back and forth between staying together and then breaking up and then staying together and then being like, you don't tell me anything, and then they break up again.
Right.
I was like watching that moment, and it's, I mean, I guess it makes sense for the story, but yeah,
A little
I'm just
bit.
like, I'm kind of tired of that like
Because they don't even change
motif,
up how
I
it.
guess.
Yeah, they don't even change up how it goes down. It's just the same conversation over where like I want to protect you, and she's like, I just
want to
save
protect you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like, well, you
I
you
don't need to
protect
be
me.
protected.
No, you save me first. No, you
Yeah.
save me first.
Yeah.
It's getting very annoying. And then just like his dumbass with the whole like I understand like the V compound is a drug, so there's that addiction thing, but he just goes back in his words so quickly. We're like, no more lies,
Yeah.
wide open, we're honest, everything, and then he's immediately covering up a lie.
He looks at it like a meth addict. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you got some more?
I mean, he even
Yeah.
specifically references Train Spotting. He's like, I've seen
Yeah.
Train Spotting.
Yeah,
I know what addicts are.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I don't want to like compare it to the comics too much because I do like how it's, different from the comics. I was
I mean,
talking
I
to
keep
Travis
doing
about
that.
this earlier. Like it's It's nice to see like almost a new story. But the way that they do it in the comics, I just think just works so much better. How like everybody's just V'd up. Everybody in the boys is V'd up, and that's how it is. It's not temporary. It's just like a thing. So it's not even like a conflict. It just
Yeah.
No,
they're all.
Well, it's actually the
still
opposite.
a temporary thing. Like it is temporary V, but it's just like it's not like a drug in the comics. It's like literally all it does is like gives you superpowers. It's not like it gives you like it makes you feel like you're high or anything. It's literally
no.
like, huh?
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm explaining to the people.
Oh,
But I think it is temporary. It's just like they're always on it.
Do they?
I
Right.
don't.
Yeah,
So they
that's
don't
what
get
I
so.
remember.
they don't get a hangover or anything
don't
in the
remember that.
comics.
I don't think so.
Literally, the only thing it does is give you superpowers. There's no like.
It's almost like Spider-Man
effects.
2, where it's like, oh, I'm running out of powers and I'm vulnerable. I have to hurry. You know, like the
Yeah.
So
not
does it
consistently having powers thing.
Does it last longer in the comics, or is it about the same, like 24-hour?
I don't think that that's even. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's permanent, but maybe not.
I think it's just that like they have a direct. It's not like they're sneaking samples from Maeve.
Oh.
They
Right.
get it like directly from their handler, and they just have a constant supply of it. So they're just.
Right.
Always
I thought they
taking
like figured
it.
out the formula or something to it, and they were able to
Could
like.
be that too. I don't know.
It seems like that's what.
That's a
yeah,
that's a
I
pretty
don't
big
know.
like switch from like the comic to the TV show. Then I mean that could be a pretty major.
Well,
change.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like, the like Vietnam, or where they like flashback to Vietnam, right?
I think it was
or whatever.
was it Iran Contra?
In this
So-
episode.
no, I think
No,
Isaiah's
when
referring to
you're
like the
first,
Soldier
like,
Boy
see-
flashback.
Oh.
I think it's like the
There-
Sandinistas. I think it was
Yeah.
Iran
Yeah.
Contra.
There's like one scene in that flashback with a character, which TJ will know this, but like you figure something out about that character, and it's like the whole entire comic books are like out the window.
We're talking
Because of
about
that.
Black Noir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. We also talked about that because I was waiting for there to be some sort of reveal about who Black Noir is, and then we watched that episode, and it was
He's
just like
a guy.
oh, he's just a dude, just
It's
a
like-
guy.
I
It
mean,
always
it's
is.
just on that alone, it's like the comics are like out the window pretty much.
I'm
think.
still like I don't know, because it seems like they're making it very clear that he is just like a dude. But I'm still kind of like there's a tiny bit of me that wonders if they're still going to do something somehow.
Yeah.
If they do, it's gonna
something somehow.
feel really. It's gonna feel
It'd
like
be weird.
obviously like a mislead, and it's gonna feel kind of like scummy. I feel like
It'll be a little weird.
I think they just need to do something different. But
Yeah.
Did you guys notice, like, when they roll up on the first, like, blown up building, that Soldier Boy blows up
Uh-huh.
when he hears the Russian shit? When Huey and Butcher roll up on that, Huey, if you look at him, he's like looking at it with like awe, like, and not awe like
Oh.
not like a stoic awe, like, oh man, this is tragic, 19 people died, almost like, holy fuck, I want to do that.
Yeah, like
kind
that's
of
so
like-
cool.
That's something
I
could
didn't
do.
catch that. That's an interesting little detail. I
Yeah,
wonder-
he's got a little smirk.
Yeah, and not knowing the
Huh.
comics, just knowing the TV show, like his whole attitude towards V and feeling as like a superhero is like that. He has that whole when he first does it, I think in episode 4, when he's like kind of head out the window looking at his arm, like all like
Yeah.
majestic and everything. Like I hope he just completely turns into a crackhead and just fucks himself up.
I think that's where it's going, and then it's gonna
yeah,
the Starlight and Huey are kind of the Jim and Pam, and they're gonna like,
Have a
oh, I'm
giant
an
fight.
addict. You have to like, I'm gonna go through withdrawals, and you gotta help me. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like he did the huge like fuck up thing like early on, and then he was like, "Ah, I'm clean," and then he just like does it immediately, and it's like, I feel like
yeah.
like we
Like,
went through that
literally
part.
he does the same thing in this. I mean,
Exact same thing.
because he took the V in the last episode, and then this episode begins with him telling her, "Oh yeah, I took this," and she's like, "Oh, I'm mad at you. Don't do that again." And then
Yeah.
he does it again.
Then he does
and
it
then they
again.
have the same conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I think, as much as I do, for the most part, prefer the show, there are some things that the comics do better, and that is the Annie-Huey relationship, where it's just like, they're together, and
Yeah.
they're mostly just a happy couple, and it's just nice, because
Yeah.
there's other things to focus on in the story.
Right. That's
Yeah,
what I was
and-
gonna say earlier. Is like you did that the first time. They got through this thing like no more lies, all that stuff. Like, okay, now no more lies, and they either go and do the no more lies thing, or he lies and then they break up. But it's like there's so much more at stake now. It's like we don't need that part of it anymore. Like,
And it was
Yeah.
so easy and frustrating. Like just in the moment when Butcher opens the trunk up to show more of the compound, and like Huey could have easily just been like, "Let me call Starlight real quick and just tell her, you know, I have to do this because it's gonna save or it's gonna help us defeat Soldier Boy." But instead, he's just like, "Yep, I'm down. Yep, no problem."
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really like a whole lack of communication between the two. Because it's
Right.
like, I feel like if he had just explained to her, hey, like, because I feel like they did have a conversation where, you know, she goes along with Homelander being like, yeah, we're dating now. Because from those episodes, it seemed like she understood the idea of like whatever it takes, which it's like, this is whatever,
Yeah.
this is whatever it takes. So it's like the kind of going back and forth on like, well, you lied to me about this. I guess, yeah, it kind of falls flat for me because it's like that. I don't know, because they already talked about doing whatever it takes, and like, you know, soups don't act with a moral compass, so we have to do whatever we can, and this is it. And so I don't know, the
Yeah.
fact that she's like, yeah, but I don't like it. It's it's boring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bitches be tripping, man. They
She's-
tell you
she's
one thing
more-
one day and they tell you another thing another day. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
She's more worried about him going in there with superpowers than she was when he was just going in there as a fucking schlub
Right.
with like nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's like the vast contrast like between there's like a huge contrast in the comics and the show is like in the comics it's like Huey is like total opposite. He's like I don't want to kill anybody. I don't like for the most part. He's like the contrast to the boys. In the
Yeah.
comics all of Frenchie, the woman, Butcher, they all are just like, yeah, if we gotta kill, we gotta kill. Huey's like, I don't want to. But in
Yeah.
the show, he's like, oh yeah, I want to be strong. I want to defend you. And it's like, I don't know. It's like there's not like it's like they gave his role to like the female, which is okay, I
Wow,
guess.
sexist.
But yeah, Miko, whatever.
I mean, he kind of was like that through the first couple
He
seasons,
was,
though.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I don't know.
I th-
Oh, gee, I don't know if we should do this." And it's,
Oh, gee.
yeah,
That's
No,
what,
but
it's now that he
I'm-
has the V, they're like, that's why they're adding in like it's like a drug, so he wants
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
it. Because before then, yeah, he
Right.
he was maybe not a pacifist, but
yeah,
kind of.
No, he
mean,
definitely
yeah.
was, because he was like traumatized when he killed the Invisible Man, whatever, translucent.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
he'd have flashbacks to that. He would have frequent flashbacks to Robin, whatever his girlfriend's name
yeah.
was.
I think
yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
And that hasn't happened in a long time now.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking
Which is
of when
good, because it doesn't need to happen anymore. He's past it. We don't need to keep seeing it forever and ever.
Sure.
when Huey like tells Starlight for the first time like, oh, I did V or whatever, I was like, are they they have to be like sponsored by White Claw, because he said White Claw like 15 times in a minute, and then she literally is drinking the White Claw like
Yeah,
showing the label
yeah.
towards the camera. It's like, okay, I get it, guy. It's like the Wayne's World scene.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, a
they're, I
little
think
bit.
they're sponsored by Charleston Chew too, because like they have a fuck ton of money.
I did
and
make
the
special
almond
note.
thing, Almond Joy.
Almond
I-
Joy.
I
Almond
was
Joy
like-
slap though, for real.
I was like, hell yeah. Huey likes old man candy just like me.
That's what I
I
said
feel
too.
seen. The Charleston Chew, the Bit of Honey, the Almond Joy. All we needed was like a whatchamacallit or maybe some cowtails.
Oh yeah, those are her
100
favorite
grand
candy.
maybe.
100 grand. Yep.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are her
that's,
favorite
that's
candies.
hers. Yeah.
So I mean, that makes sense though, because she's from like the, whatever, was Kansas? Where is she from?
Iowa,
Something
I
like
think.
that.
So,
Yeah.
Iowa. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
she's probably raised by her grandpa that fucking lived on those.
Yeah, she probably thinks corn is candy. The fucking idiot.
There
Ian
is
Brett
candy
Hick.
corn.
Oh yeah.
The-
What
Candy
is this,
corn, too.
candied corn?
I'm like,
Let's talk about candy.
That,
I was gonna talk about
that
A-Train.
is a good subject for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like the A-Train subplot was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I can't wait to
blue
see Blue Hawk.
guy.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Blue Hawk get. I'm just wait. I was when A-Train was in the hospital, just kind of like looking out the window or like watching the TV of Blue Hawk's like
Yeah.
reaction to fighting Antifa. They wrote that beautifully, like how the media will cover up, like Blue Hawk just losing his shit in the middle of a random crowd, and they just write it off
Right.
as like, oh, he fought Antifa. I thought that was fucking hilarious. But I was just waiting for A-Train to like take off from that hospital and just go run right through fucking Blue Hawk, because I don't know what's stopping him from just massacring that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because he's gonna have like a heart attack if he uses powers. That's like the whole thing.
Maybe.
At
like-
all?
No, he.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
not
that's
at
what it
all.
sounds like.
There was
was
a
a point
scene
when
where
he-
like
Go ahead.
there was a scene I think in an earlier episode where the doctor was like, yeah, you could run and you could be fine, or you could run and your
Oh,
heart
okay.
would explode. Like
Right.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was he was basically saying that that's the risk you take in doing it.
Coin
Like you
flip
could
or
run and be
whatever.
totally fine, but also there's a possibility that your heart explodes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
There was a scene I
The
thought.
thing is with the A-Train. Oh,
I was just gonna say
Go
I
ahead.
thought he used his powers at least like he did run at least once in this
He did.
season.
it
but-
was like a commercial. It was like a commercial, so I'm sure it was like.
The Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Okay,
That's-
that's probably what I was thinking.
That's something I kind of want to touch on. Is I feel like it's starting to become a little bit
Too much.
too much with the like references. It's
Little.
feeling a little bit more like South Park or something, where it's like, okay, we
Get it?
really,
Current
we
events?
Get it. Yeah, that guy's
Yeah.
Trump. We get it. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding us that happened. Awesome. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I-
getting a little too much. Like it's
Yeah.
cool when it's subtle. Like you just have a little tip of the hat to it every once in a while. But it is
Yeah.
Well,
like
I
really
think
cramming it up your butt, like a
a Starlight dildo.
yeah, or
Or like-
like
or
yeah,
like the-
Crimson Curtain.
Her huge ass anal beads.
Yeah,
Or like,
Oh,
like
man.
pool ball styled
Fuck.
pool ball poop.
They were
I'm having a
fucking-
stroke.
heavy
I was
metal.
telling my
shit would
dad-
warm 'em up.
Oh.
Speaking of cam shows, there we
she
go.
had to
Hey.
sterilize him.
Hey,
yeah,
there we go.
that's where I was. Yeah, I avoided
wanna
the
say
one name.
Doing
I did
cam
want to say
shows for
one thing though
Pumbaa.
about the sort of like current events thing. I did think the one that was good though was Ashley being like, "We're here to like take accountability," like that type of corporate like that corporate like
Yeah,
like anti-bias, anti-racism training that's just there to like serve HR departments. That shit was
Yeah.
like perfect.
yes,
Mhm.
that's
We're
the,
holding
like,
space. I love
that-
like
right.
using that type of language because like
That's
they
my
weaponize
favorite
it so
hashtag.
well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thing with
yeah,
like
that's my favorite.
my thing with like the whole A-Train stuff is it's like I think like they're doing it well, but like I feel like they haven't redeemed A-Train's like character. Like yes, I'm rooting for like I want him to just like blow through Blue Hawk, but at the same time it's like he's still a fucking huge piece of shit. So it's like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
what he is trying to do is good, and I'm like rooting for him for that. But like, I want him to have like the Deep. Like, yeah, the Deep is still a piece of shit, but like he's
I'm
fun
gonna
to
get on
watch.
that next.
Yeah.
A-Train is just like he's still a piece of shit, but he's trying to do something good. So it's like, it's It's like you're rooting for him, but also like fuck this guy.
I feel like they're setting that up because
yes,
because he got like what's his face killed in the last episode, and then Starlight was like, "Why are you doing this for people that hate you?"
Oh yeah.
And then his brother, and then his brother gets like paralyzed by Blue Hawk in this like canned apology, like taking accountability. I'm sorry that you got offended, but also here's some crime statistics that I found from like Stormfront, like the website.
They are trying to
Storm
show
chasers.
Storm chasers. They're trying to show like a contrast between like two characters going through like a renaissance, as it were, like with the Deep and A-Train. And I think like with the Deep, he went through he did the whole like PR rehabilitation where I think I said this last time where he's come out like a little bit better, but now he's starting to like realize that he can use that personal improvement as a weapon, and he's like starting to become like even more powerful in how shitty he is. And but I think A-Train is going to be the opposite, where he's going to like go
totally change.
Yeah, I think he's going to become a good guy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be like okay, I see now. Like he's seeing like the shitty stuff.
I like that theory.
Yeah, I think they're two sides of the same coin kind of deal.
Yeah, because he's probably gonna have like an epiphany or something about like what he did to what was Alex?
Robin.
Alex, the superhero that he like
Alex,
ratted on.
Supersonic.
Supersonic, yeah. He's gonna have like an epiphany, like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have ratted on him because
Supersonic.
Like, Homelander needs to be. He's gonna have that. Like, Homelander needs to be taken down. I have a feeling he's probably gonna go to Homelander first about Blue Hawk and be like, yo, he fucked all these people up and they're just covering it up. What we're supposed to do? And Homelander's gonna have some shitty response, and that's when A-Train's gonna be like, yeah, I shouldn't do this anymore.
They did that.
They already
kind of did that.
Though.
Yeah, because again, that was the Deep. Because the Deep's wife texted him, and he was like, "Well, if you that makes." Because that's when the Deep is like, oh, well, that makes you look weak on crime. And then Homelander's like, you're right.
Yeah.
So then A-Train rats on Supersonic to like get in Homelander's favor.
Yeah,
I think before true. The stuff that was affecting A-Train was like the systemic racism or like the police brutality that they're trying to show through Blue Hawk. That was affecting him and his community, but it's not really affecting him, so he doesn't really give a shit. And now it has like it's starting to like directly hit home and impact him personally, and that's where it's going to actually like it's really gonna hit. It's gonna land with him
because he did try doing the like literally the PR thing by having a televised apology and like going through that route because like you said, you can tell he didn't give a fuck about it really. And he was just doing it for PR, and then once his brother gets fucked up, he's like, oh, okay.
Doing another nod to current events, the Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, we're gonna wear the African like colors. That fucking bullshit.
So
the little white hotep stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Back to the poo-sized anal beads. I was like, I was trying to watch I was like getting the episode ready, and then my dad sits down like on the couch next to us, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about watching The Boys next to my dad because it's like really gory and he doesn't like Kill Bill and stuff. And I was like, man, this episode is pretty tame. And then it's like Seth Rogen jerking off as this chick pulls out anal beads the size of my fucking head, and I'm like, oh, this is. And he was just like in his chair, just.
That's what I was thinking. Like, and even that is like, that being like the most, edgy moment of the episode is pretty tame for the show. Although the next episode is Hero-gasm, so we'll see what they do with that. That's its whole like arc in the comics, but I guess they're just compressing it to one. I mean, it doesn't really need to be more than an episode in my opinion, but
I mean, and I mean, I felt like this episode was also just kind of like, it wasn't really a whole lot of like content, or there wasn't any like resolution, or it was like all of the episode just felt like story building and context for
it was moving the
the
pieces
next
around.
episode. Yeah,
for sure.
wasn't like anything happened. It was just like this whole episode was setting stuff up for later.
Yeah.
So, I did like the
Frenchie,
introduction of the legend though. That was like
Oh yeah,
totally
I like
different
that
from
guy.
the comics,
First.
but you what?
I wanted to. You can finish what you're saying, but I did want to mention the legend.
Oh,
I
I
wanted
was
to
just
say
gonna say
something.
like he's a lot different than the comics, but like it was funny. Like I thought he was good and
Yeah.
done well. So
It took me a minute to realize that was the legend because he is just so vastly different. But I wanted to make a note of that is something that I am very thankful for the show for doing, is like reeling back the more, like little Nina we've talked before is like in the comic she's like this little tiny Russian chick, and she always has like these dildos that are as big as she is, and in the show she's just a Russian lady.
She's
And,
actually kind of
like,
tall in the show.
You don't. Yeah, she is kind of. And
she
like,
fucking
and
just
then
she blew smoke into like an old dude's face in the hospital, and I died. That was so fucking funny.
and then with the legend, it's kind of the same thing. He's like this 3 foot tall, bald old guy with like a Hitler stash, and all like he's like in the comics quite a bit, and like half the time you see him, he's like banging prostitutes or something because haha, it's a old
Sure.
man. And then in the show, it's just Paul Reiser. It's just Miles Teller's dad from Whiplash.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
I
he
guess
just
I haven't.
talks about fucking a whole
Coke
bunch.
It's just
Yeah,
I
haven't seen that-
it's from Stranger Things.
I haven't seen Whiplash, so I was like, oh yeah, the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I like, see, that's one thing, I guess, knowing what the comic looked like, that I feel like a lot of live action shows fuck up when they try to transition comics or animes or something, is they try to go to
Cowboy Bebop.
that's what I was thinking with
Really?
with Ed. Like, they made Ed legitimately exactly how she is in
Oh
the
fuck!
anime.
I can't even thinking about
And it's
that.
so fucking cringy in like live action because she's an animated character and just goofy and everything, and it just doesn't come across well in live action. And I guess I can appreciate the boys for doing that, is like making it still that character to the core, but making it believable and like, okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, it's like Negan. It's like how Negan in the show was just like they tried to do the comics, but
I did that joke before. Too didn't like it.
they like tried to do comic book Negan, but it just doesn't work because it's like they have to be, PC
Yeah.
with more
With
PC,
saying
I guess.
his
So
name.
it's like, yeah.
Is he like saying
But-
slurs in the comic or something?
Yeah. Oh, he's no, not like racial slurs. Just like he's way more vulgar and like
He
just
just
like
says like the F
brutal.
word every other word.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and in the
Yeah,
comics it works, but in the show it just feels it's just like
Yeah.
off. So I'm glad that like they just like changed him, but like not for the better for the better, especially with the legend. Definitely for the
Yeah.
better. Never mind. But yeah.
All right, to close it out, do we want to talk about some sex cams?
Sex cams.
Yeah,
like
I know
Crimson
a couple
Countess
people that we
with
could
the-
plug.
Oh, or was that all you wanted to say about your dad watching Seth Rogen jerk off?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was weird. Like
It was a good cameo.
yeah, it was.
Daegan is gently caressing Saxon Charbino.
Oh, you guys can see that? Oh shit! Oh, my bad. I got caught in 4K. Oops.
Before we close it out, I wanted to say the one thing, since we're talking about all these like elements of like commentary or satirizing all these different things. Like, oh, it's Trump. This is Fox News, whatever. The one that like kind of hit me the most was the one that was like, actually, maybe it's because it wasn't just there to be like, haha, there's actually like a story reason behind it. And it was the Deep being put in charge of the crime analytics department at like, just such a slap in the face to all the people. And
Yeah.
that was like the one moment where I was like, oh shit, I get it. And also, damn.
Damn.
And I'm interested to see where that, and also I'm really interested to see where the Soldier Boy story goes with them, like kind of teaming up with him, because
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it felt like for the first time Homelander, like, I think recognized kind of what was going on and was actually like worried.
yeah,
Like the scene with like the news broadcast, Starlight was like, well, are we gonna go do anything? And he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna set up a press tour and we're gonna make sure that everyone knows that everything's okay. And it was like, you could sense this nervousness in his voice. Like, I'm assuming he knows who Soldier Boy is, or he knows what he's capable of. I don't know if that was him like recognizing that, like, oh shit, this is something that I can't just laser their head off with.
A bug from my head.
I thought Maeve was a lesbian.
She's bi.
She's bi.
It can be,
Apparently.
You can be
or
both.
whatever. Yeah,
Well, I guess
drunk,
I
they're
was
caught
slightly
up in
surprised
all of it.
because I thought her and Homelander's relationship was like for publicity. I didn't realize they had actually were together or anything like that. So I just assumed that she was. Yeah, I guess I assumed that she was lesbian, and then
Well, it
she took
sounds like
one
it
for
was.
the team with Butcher.
It sounds like it was kind of like what he's doing with Starlight, where it is primarily for publicity, but then he's like making, because she said like, I hated you from the beginning.
Yeah.
So obviously from her point of view, there wasn't any real emotion or whatever. But
Which mirrors exactly Crimson Curtain and Soldier Boy at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I was like, I wonder if Butcher is like filming this to like,
Oh.
because like Homelander
blackmail
obviously is
Soldier
like
Boy?
not over. No, him and Queen Maeve.
Oh, gotcha.
Like using that as like to taunt Homelander or like piss him off, because obviously he's still not over it.
Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Something I wanted to say earlier was like when we were talking about like A-Train and Deep's character development for good or bad. That's something I like a lot about this show, and I think I mentioned it in like the Pirates, how they make villains good, or like that questionable gray area is when there's like a good and bad side. Like Homelander is just completely evil, but then you have like Butcher and Huey sometimes even, and like some other soups where you're just like, they're supposed to be good guys, but you know, do whatever it takes type of thing. So they can be seen as bad guys, they can be seen as good guys. There's really no good moral line of, you know, everything they do is good. And I just love that mixture of like, you can pick 3 different sides, and all 3 different sides have the right in their mind goal. So I just like that a lot.
Yeah, it is kind of similar to our conversation about Pirates, because I do feel like in this show there are like ever shifting allegiances, ever shifting like motives. Everyone is kind of like, I feel like there's several times where you'll discover that like, oh shit, this character actually decided to do this. Like a good example is the A-Train and the Supersonic thing, where like Supersonic was like, yeah, that really sucked for you. Do you want to try to take Homelander out? And then he totally just turned around and used that to like get credibility with Homelander.
Right.
I feel like that was obvious that he was gonna like turn on him, because it was like not set up well enough for A-Train to be like, oh, I'm good now. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take Homelander.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit, but not enough for like his character to totally shift to like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm against Homelander now. Like,
Yeah,
I
didn't think A-Train was actually gonna like do it, but I was very surprised to see Supersonic just Pete Davidson face caved in.
yeah.
Okay, so Are we
You
good?
gonna pull from the
Everybody
cup now?
get your shit out. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Next week is
it's
episode 6 of season 3.
episode
I'm so
could've
sick
seen
of
that
you
coming.
editorializing. I think all of these episodes have been TJ's picks.
It's an Amazon Prime pick. You get free shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, next week, Herogasm. I'm interested to see what that'll be like, especially having a detour like that after Maeve fate is kind of in the whatever, and
Yeah.
Soldier
Frenchie.
Boy just kind of being released, and Frenchie. It's weird to
Yeah.
have this detour thing. I'm thinking Soldier Boy might show up and just like, I feel like a lot of superheroes are gonna die next week.
Oh yeah.
That's just my theory.
Oh,
Okay.
One thing.
One
I've read-
other quick thing is
Fuck.
I'm now that I didn't know that the next episode was Herogasm, but like knowing that, I'm curious to see like, because like in the comics that's pretty early. That's like second or third like book.
That's like halfway.
So yeah, it's like third book or something, beginning of the third book. So it's
like the last
weird to see like, you know, what pace they're going at, I guess.
Wow.
I thought
I think they're
I don't know.
just picking and choosing from whatever
Yeah.
they want.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
They don't want to
Yeah.
match the comics, and like we were talking about earlier, I think it's better that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because
Same.
then you don't have the thing where it's like they did it better in the comics. They didn't
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
good in the show. It ruined
Yeah,
the
it's-
show for
which
me.
we're still
just saying it's
doing,
interesting.
but it's not like they didn't do this scene exactly the same. It's more like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
themes and like more broad concepts,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I think is more
and
interesting.
that's the way to do it instead of like, well, this character didn't do that.
Yeah.
it's just interesting because in the comics, like by the time Herogasm happens, it's like calmer. There's not like this big push to kill Homelander, and right now it's like that's all they're trying to
Yeah.
do. So it's a little like, you know, different timeline
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna kill him off, even though he is starting to become like really one note and bland to watch. He's not entertaining anymore. He's not entertaining. He's just like, oh, I wonder what Homelander's gonna do. Oh, he's gonna be a narcissistic douchebag. Okay, cool.
It does seem
He's
like he
just
doesn't have as
scary.
much to do this season. I'll say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
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 The one thing I was gonna say was the actress who plays Ashley. I think she's really fucking good at playing like that character of shitty HR that is just trying to suck up to the higher ups. But then that scene when Starlight goes to her and
She
like halfway
almost
cracks.
broke.
Yeah, but then she just like
Mhm.
pulled that acting in there was like she was like about to have a mental breakdown and then just like pulls it all in and she's like, next time make an appointment. Like I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's getting development except for Homelander right now, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing to develop there anymore. He's just narcissistic.
And
and
Black
evil.
Noir.
And he likes bad movies.
Yeah, he likes fucking terrible movies, and he sucks.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
See how it is, dude.